Hello everybody, Hi TLE here with a long-awaited Wei Wei guide video. A few of you guys have been asking me to make a Wei Wei guide in the past few days, and I totally understand because this is literally the best support in the game. You should always have her in your lineup. Boss battle, arena, adventure, whatever. You need to have Wei Wei on your team. So without further ado, in this video, I will be showing you guys what gears I am using on her and what sets you guys should prioritize, what skills to max first to get the most potential out of her, what skill gems I am using, and what skill gems you guys should be using on her. So let's just get right in the video. First off, we got her gear sets. On her, I am currently using the Emperor 3-piece bonus set and Corrupted Elune set. The reason why I suggest you guys to prioritize the Emperor set first is because of the 3-piece set bonus. Extra 15% healing when allies have a buff. Wei Wei has 2 skills and both of them are buffs, so you guys will always be receiving this extra 15% healing. The 6-piece set bonus is not that great on her, and I don't really recommend using on her because it's extra 15% critical rate to healing skills. I think this only applies to auto skills who heal, like Freya's first skill, Fabian's first skill, Un's first skill, and those heroes really benefit from that because it increases their damage rate and because there's a 15% critical rate, so their auto attack can crit and heal you more. This doesn't apply for Wei Wei because her second skill healing is a passive and it will only proc when your ally receive damage, and that healing amount will not crit. That is my first priority. Second priority should be Forgotten Hero set. This is because it reduces damage taken by 20% if you have a buff. And as I said already, if you have Wei Wei, you will always have a buff almost 90% of the time. So that is 20% less damage taken every turn. Right now, I have the Corrupted Elune set on her just because I am able to obtain 1 soul at the end of every even number turn. And that plays into my arena strategy right now. Her passive has been changed. If you have 2 or less mana, you will now receive 2 mana instead of 3, which is why I need that extra mana to get my Arslan second skill out in the second turn of my arena battle. These two they work quite well, but I would rather have the Forgotten set on her. Another set that you can use is the Ulysses set. This increases your defense. It increases 100% of your physical defense and magical defense for 2 turns if you are hit by a critical hit. Next, let's get into her skills. Her first skills is Tapioca Pearls, which I call Boba. You will not use the skill that much unless you do not have enough mana to use your second or third skill. Her first skill is not that bad just because it goes with her passive, Delicate Scent. It will cast an enhanced buff that increases attack of a random ally for 20% for 2 turns when she attacks the enemy with her first skill. Her second skill, Bubble Tea Shower. This skill is the skill that buffs your physical defense and magical defense. At max level, it will increase the buff duration to 4 turns instead of 3 turns, and the scaling increases by her max HP. It also has a second phase to the skill, which is the healing phase. So if the ally with this buff gets attacked, it will heal for 0.8 attack of Wei Wei. It scales by her attack, and this amount increases as you level it up. Her ultimate skill, Sweet Temptation, casts an enhanced buff that increases attack of all allies for 90% at max level for 2 turns. Whenever the ally with this buff uses a skill that costs mana, the buff duration goes right back to 2 turns. So if you have a Chloe Van and you're constantly spamming her skills because you do not need 4 mana or 6 mana to use her skills, it can be used with any amount of mana. Chloe Van will always have Sweet Temptation, even though Wei Wei will not use Sweet Temptation another turn for the rest of the whole battle. Though I like to use it like here and there just because my Wei Wei will be using auto attack sometimes and Sweet Temptation will expire and I will need to rebuff my Wei Wei. Her first passive increases attack of all allies except her by 10%. This can be huge. Her second passive, which I've already talked about, and her third passive, which has been changed recently. If you have 2 or less mana souls, you will receive 2 souls. This used to be 3, and we used to be absolutely broken in Arena because you can constantly spam your special skill. Next, I will show you why and how I maxed Sweet Temptation first. The reason why I maxed Sweet Temptation first instead of Bubble Tea Shower is because it increases attack of all allies from 45% at base level to 90% at max, which is almost double. Next, you should, of course, max your Bubble Tea Shower because it increases physical and magical defense that much more and it heals for a lot more. When you have Bubble Tea Shower active, you will notice that Wei Wei, the healing, mine heals for about 7,000 to 8,000 health points each time my ally gets attacked. That is not that much, but when you have Sweet Temptation buff also, it increases 90% of that healing skill also. So each attack I receive about 16,000 to 17,000 health points if I have Sweet Temptation active. Next, our skill gems. On her Tapioca Pearls, I have the suggested skill gems just because if it lands as a crit, I have a 1 in 10% chance to receive a soul, and that can potentially be very, very changing in my arena battles. On her second skill, I have the suggested skill gems also. I have 2 yellow skill gems and 1 rainbow acting as a violet skill gems, and the bonus is heals HP of all allies for 1.5%. That is not such a huge boost, so what I suggest is have all 3 yellow skill gems because yellow gems increases buff by 5%. So right now I have a 5% and a 4% buff, so that's a 9% buff on top of my magical defense and physical defense and healing by an extra 9%. So if I have another yellow skill gem in here, that would increase it by that much more. Her third skill, I also have the suggested skill gem for now, just because it has a 10% of reducing damage by that all allies receive by 5% for 2 turns if you use the skill. On paper, that is not such a huge bonus, so you can definitely swap out yellow gems, all 3 yellow gems, to increase the attack boost that much more. If you have 3 5-star yellow gems here, you can be increasing it by an extra 15%, putting your attack boost at 105% attack boost. This is what I will be working on, and I will have 3 yellow gems for her second and her third skill, just because I believe that is just that much more worth it. Next, her costumes can be purchased for 300 gems. She got 3 extra costumes. We're not really gonna get into that. I mean, if you whatever costume you guys like, you guys can choose. But yeah, her stats I am prioritizing on her is, of course, attack speed, it's really important to keep your attack speed around 125, 126. The reason is because with the new change to Arena, the enemy Fahrenheit, which everyone uses, will automatically provoke you if you have above 130 attack speed, and you will not be able to use your buffs, your skills for 2 turns. That is crucial in Arena. Next, I prioritize my physical resistance. It is at 16% right now. I do not want to be stunned by Reyna ultimate. I do not want to be paralyzed by Chloe Van or Arslan. I have my curse resistance pretty high right now because in boss battles, I do not want to be provoked. I do not want to be provoked by Fahrenheit in Arena also. That is why it's at 30%. Nature resistance, it's at 16%. The main reason why I have it so high is because I do not want to be sealed away. I do not want to be affected by Reyna's second skill. And the reason why I have it so high is because I want to be able to use Wei Wei in my arena battles. I want to be able to get my buffs off. I do not want to be stunned. Wei Wei is extremely important. My spell resistance is not that high, though I probably should get it a lot higher. I think if my nature resistance and spell resistance swap, I would be okay with that, but my gear does not allow that. And sorry about earlier when I said nature resistance to another thing. I do not remember, but I am 100% sure I made a mistake, so please forgive me there. My weakened resistance is pretty low right now, also, which I would love to get it higher. I would have to swap my gears around a little bit, but right now I am comfortable with where I am at. And in battles, it's very strategic with her skills. So you do not use her ultimate all the time first thing. The reason is, if you see, this is mostly only in arena, sometimes boss battles, but first turns, if they have either a Reeve, a Balder, an Arslan, you will want to use Bubble Tea Shower first because you want that physical defense and magical defense boost along with that healing. So when Arslan, Reeve, or Balder use their second skill to hit your whole team, you can negate that damage and also heal to full HP for your whole team off of that first turn. And they basically wasted that 4 mana and you have a buff and full health. Next turn, you can use Sweet Temptation and burst their whole team down. Now, if you are going into a boss battle or their team does not have that many threats off the bat, I would use Sweet Temptation first because you can get off a lot of damage on that first turn. And potentially, if you have Chloe Van or someone who can target their backline, you can one-shot their damage dealer with this attack boost. And that is how I use my Chloe Van, sorry about that. I use my Wei Wei. I will not be showing any in-game clips just because there's not really anything special about Wei Wei to show off like the amount of damage she does. The amount of healing she does, I can tell you for a fact with all the skills maxed out, is 90% of the time more than the damage that my ally receive. So each attack I receive, I basically healed that full amount and even more. So prioritize her Sweet Temptation and then Bubble Tea Shower. Skill gems, prioritize 3 yellow gems on her second and third skill. Gears, prioritize Emperor set, Corrupted Elune, Forgotten Hero set, and Ulysses. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this Wei Wei guide video. I hope you guys have learned something valuable from it. Please comment down below if you guys like these types of